Man, I wanted to hop on here real quick and talk about this Donald Trump and Laura Loomer situation. You know, this is where Donald Trump keeps messing up. He keeps getting this wrong, okay? Keeps doing it. Donald Trump is running for the president of the United States of America, and he's parading around Laura Loomer. How crazy is that? Now, I'm going to sound a little bit presidential in this video, okay? I'm going to sound a little bit presidential, so bear with me, okay? I got to put on my president's hat, all right? Now, the job of the president of the United States of America is to what? To unify the country, standing as a leader for who? All Americans, right? No matter their race, color, religion, or background. It's a tough role, but it demands integrity, fairness, and a commitment to bringing people together, not dividing them, okay? Now, Donald Trump is running for the president again, and he's been very clear in his speeches, interviews, and press conferences that he will be a president for everybody, okay? He has said time and time and time again that he is not a racist, and he has denied every accusation thrown his way, but let's keep it a buck. Let's keep it a buck. Parading someone like Laura Loomer around does not help with those denials. It actually destroys them. And this is what Donald Trump keeps getting wrong. Listen, Laura Loomer is a known bigot, yes. And she has made some of the most hateful, racist comments out there. All right? For example, Laura Loomer called Fani Willis, the district attorney from Georgia, a ghetto B-word. Ghetto. All right? Now, I'm not talking about whether you support Fani Willis. You don't have to support Fani Willis. You don't have to like Fani Willis. Okay? That's not the reason I am making the video. I am making the video to show that Laura Loomer has said racist things about Fani Willis, okay? And we all know the racist dog whistles, okay? Calling a black person ghetto, calling a black woman ghetto, or black people in particular ghetto, it's a stereotype, okay? And with Laura Loomer doing that, it's a dog whistle to her racist base to jump in. The term ghetto has been long used as a derogatory term to stereotype black people as what? Uneducated, uncivilized, or lesser than, right? By using this word to describe Fani Willis, Laura Loomer isn't just attacking Fani Willis, she's feeding into a long history of racist rhetoric used to demean and discredit black people as a whole, particularly those in positions of power, right? Laura Loomer knows what she's doing when she calls Fani Willis ghetto, okay? And Donald Trump parading her around is not unifying anyone, okay? Let me dive a little bit deeper. Right? It's not just about Fani Willis. Again, I don't care if you support Fani Willis, all right? Loomer has even gone after Sheila Jackson Lee, okay? I don't care if you support Sheila Jackson Lee. That's not why I'm making the video. In similar ways, Laura Loomer has called Sheila Jackson Lee a ghetto B-word. And she called Sheila Jackson Lee a ghetto B-word after the passing of Sheila Jackson Lee. Again, this isn't just a jab at one person, it's an insult to black people as a whole, because we all know the term is basically used to describe black people and try to make them look uneducated, uncivilized, etc. Okay? Laura Loomer knows exactly what she is doing. Okay? Now, Laura Loomer's words are dripping with disrespect, and it aims to strip people of their humanity. And Trump, if he's serious about running for president of the United States of America, why would you align yourself with someone who publicly spews this kind of racism? It doesn't make sense to me. Now, you have Muslims in the country. Some people don't like Muslims, etc. Again, I told you, I'm going to sound presidential. I don't care what you don't like, etc. Because you have a multitude of racists, religions, etc. in the United States of America. And when you're trying to run for the president of the United States of America, you're going to encounter all of these folk. Okay? Now, let's look at her comments against Muslims. She called herself a proud Islamophobe and has pushed for banning Muslims from America altogether. This is a direct attack on an entire group of people based on their what? Religion. It's pretty racist, okay? Plain and simple, and it goes against every value that the country was built on, okay? Maybe I may be sounding a little bit too presidential because we all know the country was built on the backs of black folks, and those black folks haven't even gotten reparations for what their ancestors went through. Okay, that's another topic for another story, right? It's another topic for another story. Okay, 40 acres and a mule. All right. Let me proceed. Here's the thing, man. Donald Trump, if you claim to be about unity, you cannot surround yourself with people who push hatred and division. It doesn't make sense to me. Listen, I mean, seriously. If you're Donald Trump and you're trying to shake off the label of being a racist, which everybody calls them, okay, aligning yourself with someone like Laura Loomer isn't just a bad look. It's a total contradiction to everything you claim to stand for and everything you claim to be. You can't say you're not about racism and then walk side by side with a racist, okay? You can't say you don't support the KKK, but then wear a shirt that says, I support the KKK. All right? It's a total contradiction, man. And to top that off, Laura Loomer even associates with people like Myron Gaines. Yes, the racist, black, Sudanese, / fake wannabe, white supremacist Myron Gaines. Okay? Who has made it very clear that he has no love for black people. Listen, can you imagine this? Can you imagine if a tape recorder was left in a room with Laura Loomer and Myron Gaines? You know, somebody put a tape recorder in a room with them and left out, came back later on and got the recorder, went home and pressed play. Oh my God. Oh my God. You'd probably hear some of the most vile, racist conversations you could ever imagine. Seriously. I mean, it would be so much hatred and racism on that tape recorder, you'd probably burn it. Seriously. You would probably be able to grab a knife and cut through the tension of the racism, and the racism would bleed. That is how thick the hatred would be if you heard a conversation between Myron Gaines and Laura Loomer. They would probably metamorph into Jason Voorhees and Michael Myers. Seriously. That is the level of hate that they would have. All right? Seriously. I mean, I'm talking about worse than what was caught on tape with those city council members in California disparaging black folks. It would be ugly. Seriously. And that's the company that Trump is parading around right now. Doesn't make sense to me. Makes me wonder, if you're not a racist, why are you parading around with Laura Loomer? Okay? It's the same with Nick Fuentes, etc. He should have never been at the White House, period. Listen, man, when Marjorie Taylor Greene, of all people, has to even distance herself from somebody like Laura Loomer, that says a lot, okay? When someone like Greene, who is known to be extreme, feels like she needs to tell Laura Loomer, back off, hey, that's pretty racist and you're making the Republican Party look pretty bad, that should be a warning sign, okay? It's a sign that you've gone way too far by kicking it with Laura Loomer, okay?
And, I typically try to ignore her post, but someone had sent me that post about Kamala Harris, and it bothered me so much. And my personality, everyone knows I'm outspoken, and I just felt like it was time to call it out. I think it's wrong. We're not a party of identity politics. We're a party for all Americans. And I think that's so important. And I think that we need to be focused on our policies, the inflation, the economy, and the border, and not attacking people for their race, not attacking them because they may not have children and they love their pets. And I don't want to have anything to do with that. And neither do the people, my voters at home in my district, and most people I talk to across the country. And so, yeah, I called her out last night. And I think it was important to do.
She's still traveled with former president. Would you encourage Trump not to keep close contact with her?
Now, Trump continues to elevate Loomer in her hateful ideas. It's impossible to claim that you're not a racist when you're running around with racist people. To me. Maybe not to y'all, but to me. But if you want to be a president that unifies, you can't run around with people who cause division, who spew out much hatred. Now, in conclusion, Donald Trump parading around with Laura Loomer is doing nothing to help his racism denial. Okay? In fact, it's only making things worse. Associating with someone who pushes racist comments all day, every day, and hateful rhetoric, that's not unifying anyone. It's actually separating people from you. Okay? That isn't the move for someone who's running for president of the United States of America. Laura Loomer is a divisive, racist figure who thrives on hate. And if you really want to be president of the United States of America, you need to cut ties with people like Laura Loomer. And I stand on that. All right. And with that being said, man, I leave you with this. Coming from the book I love, the Holy Bible, coming from the God I love, whose son is Jesus Christ, Ephesians 4:3. Make every effort to keep the unity of the Spirit through the bond of what? Peace. Through the bond of peace. All right. And with that being said, man, I'm gone, man. You can't parade around with Laura Loomer and then tell everybody you're not a racist when you got a racist hanging on your back. All right. Willingly. That's a contradiction. It's a contradiction. What's going on, man? What say you, man? I'm gone, man. Peace.